Well. Did I not say even in my previous video that the fact that Bayer Leverkusen came into the Uefa Europa League Final as obviously the favorites, the outright favorites, but I did mention that Atalanta is a team not to be underestimated. I did mention that. And guess what? I was proven wrong. I was proven very correct. That's why, in a final, form doesn't really matter. Yes, form can actually give, a particular team the momentum, going into a final, right? But form doesn't necessarily always, become the determining factor in a team actually going on to actually win, the silverware, right? And I'm talking about Bayer Leverkusen. And I also did mention that, Atalanta also have been on a decent run of form, even though they have lost a few games here and there. But, they've actually done well. They've actually had a great season, to be honest, in Serie A, right? The fact that they're languishing in fifth, still says that, they've had a decent season and they will be playing in the Champions League next season. And the fact that they made it to the final of the Coppa Italia, only losing out to the eventual winners, Juventus, and now that they were playing in the UEFA Europa League Final, says a lot. That, they've actually had a wonderful season, you understand, by their standards. And look, them winning the Europa League is just the icing on the cake. Defeating Bayer Leverkusen 3-0. What a game that was. What a historical moment that was for Gasperini as well as Lookman. Lookman becoming the first player to score a hat-trick in the UEFA Europa League Final. And basically now, Atalanta have just literally they've made history by dominating the UEFA Europa League Final with an Ademola Lookman hat-trick to actually end Bayer Leverkusen's unbeaten record. In Gian Piero Gasperini's masterclass. That was another masterclass from the 66-year-old tactician, right? And what I can also, state to you is the fact that, you can't underestimate anybody. I think, and I said it, Bayer Leverkusen underestimated their opponents. You look at even the lineup, you could tell that they were really undermining the Serie A, side. They really did undermine them. But look, Gasperini took Xabi Alonso to school. He taught him how it's done. Hopefully, Xabi Alonso will take this as a lesson going forward. And, he can actually learn a lot from this particular, game. And for the fact that he got all his tactics wrong, right? And this was, Ladea's first ever UEFA final. But only a week after losing to the Coppa Italia final to Juventus, Gianluca Scamacca was suspended for that game, remember? And then he returned here in an all-attack team. What was only missing is that they only missed Martin Duran as well as Emil Holm, right? And Bayer Leverkusen coming into this one were unbeaten in 51 competitive matches. So that's a new European club record. And they had already won the Bundesliga on the track for a treble ahead of the German Cup final with Kaiserslautern on the 25th of May, as in the semi-finals against AS Roma, right? Xabi Alonso benched Victor Boniface for a false nine approach, which was a bad idea. That was a bad idea. Already that's where he got his tactics all wrong. It shows that he clearly undermined, the Serie A, side. He did. And I mentioned in my video, I mentioned it before the final that you cannot underestimate Atalanta. You can't. I mean, a team that whipped Liverpool, that tore Liverpool to the shreds at Anfield. The very same Atalanta that tore Liverpool to the shreds at Anfield. And a lot of you guys actually underestimated Atalanta. I said it that you can't underestimate them. For the fact that they tore Liverpool to the shreds, the outright favorites to actually clinch this tournament at Anfield, at their own home stadium, says a lot. You understand? That tells you that Atalanta is not the team to be messed with. It's not the team to be played with. You don't underestimate a team like that. And we know Gasperini has actually done so well with this club. From where it was, ladies and gentlemen. When he took over, this was a club that was actually fighting for relegation not so long ago. You understand? And look where they are right now. They're amongst the elite in European club football. Literally. So, I want us to talk about the former West Ham United striker, Gianluca Scamacca. He did everything right in this game, despite the fact that he was unable to find the back of the net. Like I said, as a number 9, it's not always about finding the back of the net. It's about your contribution to the game. You understand? the other contributing factors that actually help the team actually play well, such as hold up play, ensuring that you keep possession so that you can be able to play your teammates, ensure that you make those runs off the ball, right? And ensuring that also you keep on your movement is always in dangerous positions where now the defenders are actually shaking. You understand? You need to always work the defenders when you're number 9. And Scamacca did that so well in last night's, epic encounter against the German champions, right? It all started when Gianluca Scamacca saw his header, on a Matteo Ruggeri cross, charged down from a point blank range. But Piero Hincapi, and Atalanta took the lead, after their first corner was not cleared effectively, right? David Zappacosta, the former Chelsea right back, pulled back from the byline, and then Ademola Lookman was in space to actually side foot into the roof of the net. First time from 8 yards, getting there before Ezequiel Palacios. It's so amazing to me that people didn't even know Lookman before this final. I mean, Lookman, we saw him way during his Everton days. You understand? Remember at Everton where he also scored in that emphatic victory over Manchester City. Remember when Everton won 4-0 against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City at Goodison Park? You guys remember that one? You don't? Okay, I do. He was amongst the scorers in that particular game. He went to Leicester City, and then he went to RB Leipzig, and then now he's also at Atalanta. So he's a well-traveled man. I've always known that Ademola Lookman is a particular player that has got so much potential. Not only him, but even Chielici Iheanacho. Remember Chielici Iheanacho, right? Manchester City. You understand? Now he's at Leicester City. He will be playing Premier League football once again next season. Nigeria always produces wonderful players, man. Right? So, Ademola Lookman, I was not even surprised. He has been a menace for Atalanta this season. You understand? He's been a menace for them. He has really been a thorn, in the opposition. You understand? Even against Juventus, he played so well. It was just unfortunate that Atalanta conceded very early in that final, in the Coppa Italia final. And to say the least, Alex Grimaldo hit a fresh air shot from the edge of the box and Scamacca fired over. But it was like actually 2-0 when Amin Adli's misplaced header, on a goal kick came to Lookman, who actually nutmegged Granit Xhaka and then bent the right foot finish into the far bottom corner from the edge of the box. Wow. I mean, that was emphatic. What a wonderful taken goal from the Nigerian. And basically now the Nigerian, he has actually become the first African player to score 2 goals in a major UEFA Cup final. You understand? He's the first African player to score a brace in a major UEFA final. Even a hat-trick, never mind even a hat-trick. And then Grimaldo again, he got it all wrong again with a weak lob into the arms of Juan Musso. While Charles, the Catalara, saw his effort smothered after a crossfield pass. That was a great pass from Scamacca, but again, he rushed it. He just rushed it, And from that particular moment in time, yes, Xabi Alonso had to make some, he had to really make some reinforcements to his particular side because he could see that things were just not working out. So he had to make some reinforcements, right? So that's when we saw Boniface actually coming on from the restart. But the Atalanta defense had him on. Syed Kolasinac had to be replaced, with the leg calf injury. And then Piero Hincapi flung himself into the way to actually stop the Catalari, tap in from the roll across the left. And then Jeremy Frimpong volleyed over from 12 yards. But that was with his weaker left foot. So, that one I couldn't blame Frimpong. He actually tried his level best. He really did play yesterday. It's just unfortunate that it was just not their night. It was not their day. They had a very poor start to the game. And then from that point onwards, it was just all Atalanta. I mean, Atalanta didn't really have much of ball possession. But we know the rules of football, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about the amount of ball possession that you have. It's about what you do with it. And Atalanta did something effective and efficient with the possession that they had. They did something very spectacular, especially Lookman. Right? Lookman once again. Musso, he was actually alert to actually plug Wirtz, dink pass over the head of Grimaldo at the back post. Remember that one? But as you could see, just as Bayer Leverkusen were pushing hard, right, Lookman completed his hat-trick. It was a great against Scamacca. Scamacca did so well once again, and not many people give Scamacca credit, but I'm gonna give him credit because I understand football. I've played the game. I know the game very well. Scamacca deserves so much more credit. Actually, his contribution to this team is so immense. So Lookman gathered the ball from Scamacca. He took on Edmond, Tapsoba with a step over and then blasted into the far top corner with his left foot from a tricky angle. More history was made. The first man to score a hat-trick in a Europa League Final. Ademola Lookman. You better take a bow. You better remember the name. Remember the name. Ademola Lookman. Wirtz, the German Bundesliga player of the season, he was just not in the game. But yes, we did see some glimpses of him, right? He fired straight at Musso and then Patrick Schick's back heel. And then Flick was also deflected over while Atalanta kept the clean sheet. And Adam Schlossberg's just blasted wide. So Bayer Leverkusen were nowhere near their best in this game. Atalanta contained them. Gasperini was the better master class. He's the better tactician. He sent Xabi Alonso to school, man. He sent him to school, man. Xabi Alonso has got a lot to learn. Gasperini just proved that to us. That Xabi Alonso actually has so much more to learn. Actually. So, yeah, man.